Okay, so this is a very nice question, and the question essentially is testing your knowledge of plane geometry. By plane geometry would mean would that be formal geometry, actually formal geometry. So um, what you need to look out for in a question like this is the parallel line signs. These lines are the things I'm going to be looking at. So to handle this problem, what I will essentially do is to try to make this line. This one is parallel to this, so I'll just create we call it a production. We produce this line out. So when I do that, it would mean that I will now explore the properties of parallel lines. I've done extensive video on this, and I'm going to drop a video to my channel where you will need to go back and have an understanding of these properties. So with this one, you discover that first thing here will be angle on a straight line. Angle on a straight line, we'll be able to get this angle. So let me call this angle A. So by angles on a straight line, I'll be able to get this angle here. Are you seeing it? I'll be able to get this angle here. So angle on a straight line, or angles on a straight line, will sum up to 180. So that will mean that A plus 143 will give me 180 degrees. And you will usually state reasons: angles on a straight line. That's me using shorthand. So with that, I can now know that A will be equal to subtraction of 180 and 143. So that's 180 minus 143, and that will give me 37 if I've done my maths right. Now the next thing I need to do is to deal with this one. Now if you look at this, now the good thing about plane geometry, or formal geometry, is that there are different ways to solve the problem, and it's a function of what you can see when you solve the problem. So if you look at this problem too, there's a theorem that says that if I add these two, I will get this. I mean, if I add these two, I'm going to get this. So this is of interest to me now. If I add this two, if I add A plus X is equal to this one, so that is, we call it the this is a triangle, and then we call that the opposite interior angles being equal to the exterior. Like I said, there are different methods to solve that, but if you look at this, I can now relate what I have here with this one. I can now do what? Relate what I have here with this one here. So you discover that A plus X will be equal to 113. We call them F angles. We call them F angles, and F angles are actually what is called corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. They correspond on the same side of parallel lines. So with that, I will then go ahead to say that what A plus X will be equal to 113, and I will say that is what? Corresponding angles. I love to use a lot of shorthand, so that takes care of that. So with that, I already know what A is. A is what? 37. So 37 plus X will be equal to 113. So X will now be what? 113 minus 37. So X will now give me what? If I do my subtraction right, I should have something like let's say, is that 76? 76, that's what your answer should be. So that takes care of that. Remember to put your unit. There are other methods we can explore to solve it, but I'll just keep it at this. But if you don't understand what I have done, I may explore that method to solve it. There are different methods we can use to solve problems like this.